We've just had an excellent session on counter-terrorism led by three full defence ministers from the three theatres of terrorism: Europe, Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And whereas this demonstrated how different the three theatres are and the challenges they pose, it also showed some real commonality in both the phenomenon as it is manifesting itself now and in approaches. I think particularly striking was the emphasis on the need to address the underlying causes, specifically education and economic opportunity. Secondly, a common challenge and increasingly the most serious battlefront is the war of narratives. And many of the speakers put strong emphasis on the role that this is playing in motivating a new generation of terrorists. And I think in particular the need to invest in the means with which to counter this narrative was clearly a priority for ministers. And perhaps a final thing is the emphasis that's being placed now on learning across theatres. And we have, of course, the example of events in Mindanao and Marawi, from which all the defence ministers noted there are important lessons to be learnt. So I think whilst some of the commentators were saying that we've been discussing counter-terrorism for a very long time in quite similar language, and indeed we may be doing so for a long time to come, there are some positives in the degree of international cooperation and in the consistency of some of the messages. I think if there's one thing to hang on to, is that there isn't going to be a sudden and single solution to this problem. It's a work of patient accumulation of techniques and commitments and learning. And I thought the session today is a very good example of that and how it can work across theatres.